This is HomeBuildingTimeline.com, the step-by-step guide to help you make smart choices to design and build your next home, addition, or remodeling project. From the instant of your flash of inspiration, follow firm steps, tips, tricks, and topical reading suggestions. This is a hard task even for seasoned professionals. Mental and physical readiness is important. At this early stage, you can't predict what the project will cost, but you can project how much money you'll have to spend. The Beads Keystone is a feature exclusive to HomeBuildingTimeline.com. It's a list of 14 critical traits of property and structures to be addressed all at once, as if the entire Beads Keystone list is one step. The Beads acronym comes from the names of the traits of property: boundaries, building lines, bearing soil, easements, electricity and utilities, the allowed extent of the structure on the property, the allowed types of structures, automobile parking, drainage, drinking water, driveway, sewage disposal, silt control, and the stability of everything, whether it's land or existing structures. Beads applies in every phase. Home Building Timeline shows you exactly when it's time to apply the Beads Keystone. The section for land deals with property, ownership, and site hazards. Diagrams include illustrations of lines to mark property boundary lines, building areas, easements, right-of-ways, and more. And you can zoom in very close to see every detail. Rights of ownership of a home can be reassuring or mysterious and surprising. There's a lot to know. Anything that conflicts with the peaceful enjoyment of home ownership is a hazard. There are many. Rules protect the value of structures and the safety of people. It takes a surprising number of entities and organizations to achieve these goals. They are federal, state, county, city and town, and subdivision. These 7 phases are explained in detail in the ebook Essential Preparations for Any Home Building or Remodeling Project by Andy Bozeman. To find it, search Amazon for the name Andy Bozeman. There's a feature called a spur. It has to do with extra steps to add on, remodel, and renovate. It's an arc which emanates from the main timeline, and you can zoom in very close to see detail. Every phase has at least one spur. Here they're shown enlarged for emphasis. The section on house plans shows when it's time to address the uses of plans, the look of the house, the feel of the rooms, moving around and accessibility within the house and grounds, the usefulness of the space, embellishing the grounds, safety of life, possessions and structure, and much more. Choosing a builder is important. Select a builder based on reputation, integrity, motivation, knowledge, skill, and specialization. Plan review shows when it's time to assure compliance for codes, zoning, standards, restrictions, architectural control committees, architectural review committees, homeowners associations, and more. The section Approvals and Permits shows when it's time to assure documentation for design standards and codes related to electrical, environmental, mechanical, plumbing, and structural, and safety codes for fire, flood, earthquake, storm, and more. When it's time to prepare to build, you see when it's time to schedule suppliers, processes, and installers to raise the project from the ground up. In site preparation, you're shown when it's time for clearing, debris removal, weather watch, fire watch, drainage assessment, and pre-excavation, and more. Early installations show what happens under the house, what supports the house, and what engages the house with the earth. The section The Shelter shows when it's time to put the floors down, the walls up, the roof on, and to dry in the structure. Intermediate installations show when it's time to rough in plumbing, electrical, elevators, fireplaces, heating and air conditioning, and specialty features like storm rooms, swimming pools, sport courts, and stairs, and more. Also, in intermediate installations, you are shown when it's time to measure for trim, mirrors, cabinets, shelving, countertops, flooring, painting, decorations, and more. In final installations, you are shown when it's time to install the trim and mirrors and cabinets, countertops, flooring, painting, final plumbing, final electrical, final site drainage, cleanup of the home site, and more. There's even a helpful diagram for the consideration of kitchen storage and the placement of countertop appliances. And as always, you can zoom in very close to see every detail. And there's so much more. Get your subscription at homebuildingtimeline.com. Type homebuildingtimeline.com in the address bar at the very top of your browser. Select Store and choose a subscription. You can also give a subscription as a gift to anyone about to build or remodel. Gift subscriptions will not renew after they expire. After buying your subscription, log in and click Timeline and Articles. Here is the Home Building Timeline. If you can operate an online map or weather map, you already know how to work the timeline using familiar methods of clicking a mouse or touching the screen. A full screen button makes it easy to see every detail. In full screen mode, move around with the same mouse click and touchscreen functions you already know. Press the Escape key to exit full screen mode. Above the timeline is a drop-down list of categories for articles. Browse it and select an item to go straight to that topic. Some articles are free for everyone to read. Most are bonus articles just for subscribers. On the timeline are buttons that say Read More. Click one to open an entire category of related articles. Below the timeline is a very special feature, the Timeline Index. This is an index of every topic illustrated on the timeline. For example, let's look for everyone's favorite topic, building permits. Type the word permits in the box, then press enter. Below the search box, you'll see a list of every point on the timeline where the term permits occurs. A coordinate system of letters and numbers designates the exact location on the timeline. Simply click the orange coordinate address. Then the timeline will automatically zoom to that specific location to show you when in the process that topic should be handled. This is homebuildingtimeline.com. For home planning, building, and remodeling, follow it step by step, all the way home.
All the steps are there, but to work they have to be in the right order. For home planning, building, and remodeling, get all the steps in the process in the right order at homebuildingtimeline.com. homebuildingtimeline.com.